Thursday Night Football. We're inside Houston's locker room, and when the 6th-ranked Cougars head out onto Cincinnati's turf, they'll pass by these signs that they brought from home. They remind them of their dedication to the student body. They say, "We play for you." They'll touch the signs on their way out, and then they'll be greeted by the wall of sound that is Cincinnati's faithful. Then they'll see this. The National Championship trophy has made its way here, and Dave and Jesse, Houston definitely wants a chance at it.
I don't think there's any question about that, Laura, and we get ready for a heck of an atmosphere tonight here at historic Nippert Stadium. Our matchup, the 6th-ranked Cougars who've come on the road to take on 2-0 Cincinnati. It's the American Conference on ESPN. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Jesse Palmer. And it really does kind of set the stage. High stakes here tonight at Nippert, where Houston has maybe as much upward momentum as any program in the country. The bowl win against Florida State at the end of last year. The win against Oklahoma to start this year. Legitimate playoff national championship aspirations. And yet they will be tested tonight.
Yeah, that hashtag H-Town takeover. That's a trending topic right now in college football, and for good reason. You mentioned it. You win 13 games a year ago, beat Florida State, you beat Oklahoma, you're number 6 in the country. They're a really good team. They're explosive on offense, they're aggressive defensively, but you always worry about complacency. People patting you on the back, telling you how good you are. They got to change their mindset. They're no longer the hunters. They're now the hunted. They've got the target on their backs. Every time they take the field, they're going to be getting their opponent's A game, and they're going to be in a dogfight tonight. This is Houston's first true road game. It's a record crowd here at Nippert Stadium. Houston's got key injuries to their starting quarterback, their starting running back, and this Cincinnati team is not afraid of Houston. The last 3 games have been decided by a combined 18 points. So Houston needs to bring their A game tonight if they're going to escape here with a W.
And I think you can just get a sense down there on the field of the anticipation, the energy level. And they do expect, they've been playing football here for 100 years in this venue, and they expect the biggest crowd in Nippert Stadium history tonight. And the Cougars, with that target on their back, Cincinnati, as you said, they have played Houston very tough. They even told us over the summertime they've started game planning for this game, their coaches and players, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And they have circled this game, and I think the fans have too. One thing, Jesse, I think about Tom Herman and the program that he's created in a very short time. These kids, they look forward to playing in games like this.
And they love playing for him on this type of stage, national television audience, with an opportunity to continue their quest towards a playoff.
Maybe the biggest question coming into this game, the health status of the Heisman Trophy candidate, the quarterback of Houston, Greg Ward Jr. For more on that, let's send it down to the field and welcome in Laura Rutledge. Laura?
Dave, Houston has traveled a physical therapist here to Cincinnati for the sole purpose of providing treatment to Greg Ward Jr.'s injured shoulder. This morning, he had dry needling therapy. He also had massage, and they said it took him a little longer to warm up than usual just to get that shoulder going, to get the mobility back in there. They felt like his throws and warm-up were accurate. They were happy with it. When Greg Ward Jr. came back after warm-ups, he said, "I'm good, I'm ready to go." I asked the athletic training staff how much of an eye they would keep on him throughout this game. They said, "We won't even keep an eye on him because we know he's good."
That's when you know you're big time. You got your own trainers traveled to take care of their Heisman Trophy candidate. Houston won the toss. They have deferred, so they're going to kick off. Cincinnati and Tommy Tuberville electing to take the ball. And a great atmosphere. It will be packed Mike Boone takes the kickoff deep from Ty Cummings, and he'll take a knee. And we will welcome in Hayden Moore, the quarterback, the sophomore who won the starting job. Had a big week last week in their win against the Big Ten team Purdue. 3 touchdowns passing, 2 rushing.
He's going to have to be very calm under pressure tonight, though. Houston likes to bring a lot of blitzes, so Hayden Moore has to have an answer. He cannot turn the football over and be careless, and he's got to avoid the extra hits. You watch him on film, he does not like to slide. He's very gutsy, he's very confident, he's a physical runner, but against this kind of defense, I've watched that on tape as well. They're going to be coming after him tonight. He has to protect himself and get down, try to limit the hits.
You love the toughness, but you got to be smart, particularly against a defense like this. So here we go, starting from the 25, Cincinnati at home. And they have the ball to start this game. Moore will look to throw it on first down. He's got his man, and he's got a completion right away.
I've really liked Hayden Moore on tape, throwing on the run, and this coaching staff can roll him out to his right or to his left and change the launch point and get him away from this pass rush from Houston.
Devin Gray with the catch for the first down. And they'll hand the ball off on their second play from scrimmage. Tion Green with a short gain.
You know, Hayden Moore last year was a bit of a gunslinger. He was always looking for the big play, but he turned it over a lot last year, threw more interceptions than touchdown passes. This year, he seems to have a plan. He's working the right route combos. When nothing's open, he's checking the football down. He's done a good job keeping the offense on schedule.
This is a Cincinnati team. They still have Gunnar Keel on the roster, but Hayden Moore won that starting job. He gets another completion to Khalil Lewis along the far sideline to set up third down. There's Gunnar, who has had a well-traveled but also a statistically spectacular college career. He's the third stringer on this Cincinnati roster at the start of the year, which is pretty interesting. Well, the Bearcats get to the line of scrimmage quickly. That pass a little bit high. It was incomplete, not caught inbounds, intended for Lewis. It'll be fourth down.
But Dave, even if that was completed, Khalil Lewis, the receiver, never got the right depth on the route. He was short of the first down marker, and that's something he's got to be more aware of here on critical third downs in this game.
So that means the Bearcats, after getting a first down on their first play, will have to punt the ball away. Sam Geraci, their junior. The return game for Houston has not been explosive so far this year. We know in past years, though, it's been extremely explosive. A fair catch signal at about the 13-yard line. Greg Ward Jr. will bring the Cougars offense on the field for the first time.
One of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country last year. Threw for over 2,000, ran for over 1,000. Only Deshaun Watson was the other guy to do that. Looked really good against Oklahoma. You wonder with that shoulder injury, though, how it affects the deep ball accuracy. Even when he was healthy, he missed a lot of deep shots against Oklahoma week 1. But this guy is a dangerous runner. Not just a threat to go get the first down. He'll take it to the house. Last year, 18 runs of 20 or more yards. That was 8th most in the nation. Cincinnati has to bottle him up.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, the only other quarterback with 2,000 or more passing and 1,000 or more rushing yards. It's a handoff to their very talented sophomore running back, Duke Catalan, who has his own health concerns coming into this game, but you see right away his first carry, he's got a lot of natural ability.
And that is great news. He's got an ankle injury, forced him to miss their game against Lamar, but I watched him in pregame. He was cutting great off of that, and he had a burst, and you see he is a physical runner. Runs right over top of Alex Thomas, the starting quarterback. That's a good start to get him lathered up and going.
Big-time high school talent, originally went to Texas, transferred to Houston, and playing for the first time. On first down, they'll give it to Catalan again. This time, not much room, stacked up right near the line of scrimmage.
It's important that Catalan shoulders the workload tonight again with that shoulder injury to Greg Ward. You just don't know how much they're willing to run the quarterback in this one. So you get the feeling Duke Catalan's going to have a lot of work tonight.
Quick hitter out on the left side to one of the talented wideouts on this Houston team, Stephen Dunbar, with good open field tackling by Cincinnati.
So Greg Ward has a hurt shoulder, but his legs are fine. And on a big third and long like this, if you're Cincinnati, you have to be aware of his scrambling ability. Cincinnati just took their 2 defensive tackles out of the game They rotated in 2 more defensive ends. So 4 defensive ends lined up right now for Cincinnati. More speed on the field, try to get after Greg Ward.
They call it their rabbit group on the defensive line. Get a little extra speed out there. On 3rd and 7. And here we go. We'll see the legs of Greg Ward Jr. He's not just straight line fast. He is so elusive. He gets the first down.
And Dave, it doesn't matter who you have rushing the quarterback. You have to stay in your gaps. And that time, right up the middle of the field, right over the center, there's nobody home, and Greg Ward takes off. It's too easy for him. Lane integrity, pass rushing.
I think it was Cincinnati's #1 key coming into this game, and a breakdown on their first 3rd down. Second time Houston has the ball. Greg Ward Jr. and the slip tackle by Dunbar turns it upfield into Cincinnati territory for a Houston first down. Let's send it down to the field, and Laura Rutledge.
The Houston athletic training staff, Dave, told me they weren't concerned about Greg Ward because it would just be managing pain. But every time he comes off the field, immediately they begin massaging that shoulder and putting ointment on it that fights against aches and pains and muscles and joints, guys.
Well, Laura, Greg Ward just took a massive shot there for Mark Wilson. Looked like he kind of got up a little bit gingerly, so we got to make sure we keep our eye on him.
So he's playing tonight, but I don't think there's any doubt he is not 100%. Scoreless game about midway through the first quarter. Taking a deep shot. He's got his man. It's caught, and it's a touchdown. Chance Allen. And he had some zip on that throw.
Apparently, the shoulder's just going to be fine, because that was an absolute laser on a post throw. He had single coverage to the outside to the Oregon transfer. Chance Allen at 6'3", 215 pounds. Little fake the swing pass to the running back. It froze the defense for just a second, but there's no safety in the middle of the field. An explosive play given up. And that time, Grant Coleman at cornerback, he had no safety help. He really had no shot. Nice throw. Good news for Houston's offense.
2-play drive. That last pass, 39 yards for the touchdown. And Ty Cummings with the extra point, up and good. So for the moment, perhaps that'll quiet this big crowd.
He's being talked to right now over on the sidelines. You can see, just checking him out. This was the first hit on the very first play, rolling out to his left, and that's a good shot right on that throwing shoulder by Mark Wilson.
So far, Cincinnati has not been able to get that rush game going in their first 2 possessions. Now trailing 7-0. That pass was deflected.
And Hayden Moore is working a lot to his right side. They're attacking the cornerback, Howard Wilson. They're staying away from the left side of the field and going towards Howard Wilson. A lot of quick throws early, and you just wonder if they're maybe setting up a double move, a quick out, a hitch and go, see if they can find an explosive play.
Tyus Bowser got a hand on that first down pass on 2nd down. On the ground, Tion Green. Gain of maybe 4 yards.
One thing defensive coordinator Todd Orlando from Houston does a great job of is pressure illusions. And it's on 3rd downs like this. It gets a lot of guys close to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's blitzing 25 dudes. And really, he's normally only bringing 4 or 5 guys. The problem is, can you decipher where they're coming from? It could be linebackers, corners, or safeties.
There's Todd Orlando. He's done such a good job with this defense, and you see some of the disguise. Who's going to come? They bring a good pass rush. That ball out quickly, completed, first down.
What I love about what Hayden Moore does there is he used the hard cadence at the line of scrimmage, and it got Houston to declare they're bringing all the pressure from over here, so he knows he has a quick throw now to this side on the curl route. You see the offensive line sliding over. Everybody gets picked up. Really nice job by Hayden Moore using his cadence to help him buy time.
And he found his veteran wide receiver, Nate Cole. Most of the top pass catchers gone for Cincinnati. Nate Cole, the holdover. The handoff, Green, hit and spins forward to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Ed Oliver, the standout true freshman there, makes the stop. It's hard to believe this guy's a true freshman when you watch him on tape. He has tremendous quick twitch right out of his stance, and his ability to use his hands and get away from the offensive line and then use vision and locate the football, something you don't see a lot of true freshman defensive tackles do.
Stayed home to play for Houston. Play fake. Moore down the field. He's got Gray caught to the 10, to the end zone, touchdown.
That's a phenomenal route on the outside by Devin Gray on the post throw. Cincinnati did a nice job blocking up the pressure, but he gives him that little juke move to the outside, and it completely turned around the cornerback, Jeremy Winchester. And that allowed Hayden Moore to just lay out a beautifully touched ball right out in front for a walk-in score. Nice answer by Cincinnati's offense coming on the heels of Greg Ward's post touchdown throw.
So an extra point to tie the game. Their veteran kicker, Andrew Gantz. It's good, and they do tie it. To their big play receiver, Todd Orlando, shaking his head. The Bearcats, they were explosive last year on offense, and this is their first touchdown tonight. Gray with the catch, the run, making his quarterback happy.
Florida State, Louisville, Saturday at noon.
It's Dr. Pepper.
Call the most trusted name in tax, the Tax Defense Group.
It's Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week, 7-7. Houston and Cincinnati from Nippert Stadium here in the first quarter. AT&T bringing us inside access. We'll get you that after kickoff here. We're just about ready to go. Brandon Wilson with this place rocking. The Bearcats know Houston's 6th ranked team in the country, but they know they can play with them. Goal line, Brandon Wilson, explosive return man, breaks a tackle and gets free down the sideline and cuts it back in inside Cincinnati territory, down to about the 44-yard line.
He's one of the most dangerous defenders, return guys with the ball in his hands. He took 2 kicks to the house a year ago, took that missed field goal against Oklahoma back. He played running back a little bit last year, and you kind of see those moves right here. He kind of buries his head into a pile of black jerseys and presses the circle button. He's able to spin out of it. You got to wrap up on this guy. He is electrifying, and he gives Houston phenomenal field position here.
Well, that's his best return of the year. 56 yards. Handoff Catalan with that speed to the corner plus the power. It's a pretty good combination for the sophomore.
You're going to see a lot of zone read type plays, and I think Greg Ward does a great job reading defenders and knowing whether to hand the football off or keep it himself. But you can see the speed that this young running back Duke Catalan possesses. Even with that injured ankle, he's still able to get to the outside, get upfield.
Well, between starting his career at Texas, transferring, sitting out, it was almost 3 full years between his last high school game, his first college game. Now a handoff with a penalty flag thrown. That's De'Aaron King. They're getting him involved in a lot of different ways early. A high school quarterback, they've made him a wide receiver running back combo.
Personal foul, shot block, offense, numbers 51 and 69. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that's a major penalty against the Cougars.
Yeah, that was kind of a tricky one. You're not allowed to be engaged with a defender and have a high-low block concept, but watch the center over here working this way, and he's going to kind of chop block the end, and then there's a little bit of a bump there from the right tackle, and then Ty Rogers. I understand those plays are dangerous. That one to me was a little bit iffy.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of contact from the right tackle after that low block. But it negates the first down, makes it 2nd and 20. Field positions changed dramatically here in these last few plays. Completion, and a turn upfield, Liddell Bonner. I do think, Jesse, coming into this game, one of your questions against a good defensive front, the inexperience along the Houston offensive line.
Yeah, they lost 4 starters from a year ago, and again, first time playing in a true road game in a loud environment. How do they communicate together in this type of atmosphere? They've already given up a big sack on their last possession. These young guys, they're growing up tonight.
Third and 10. That pocket just broke down completely, and another Cincinnati sack.
Tonga Moa, number 50, just straight up beat Mac Long, the right guard, at the point of attack. Was able to make it in the backfield. They've got a lot of guys up front that can win their one-on-one matchups. You see number 50 right there. It's just a bull rush. Uses his hands, is able to shed the right guard, and lands right in Greg Ward's lap. This has been an impressive pass rush now. 4 guys, 5 guys, but able to get sacks on these last 2 drives.
Second sack of the game for Cincinnati. 4th and long. Here in the end of the first quarter. Here the redshirt freshman. Staying close to the Cincinnati 25. This is a much shorter punt. That fair catch all the way up outside the 35 near the 37. So Braden Beard made that catch. That was a good play by him. He had to rush forward, only 35 yards on the punt. Tion Green this time the tailback alongside Hayden Moore, the sophomore quarterback. He gives to Green. Just tough to run against Houston. They did a great job against the Oklahoma run game in week 1. Did a great job against Florida State in that bowl game. A good defense and a good defensive game so far on both sides as we come to the end of quarter number 1. Under the lights here in Cincinnati. Hayden Moore with a deep touchdown to answer the Allen touchdown catch from Ward. And at the end of the first quarter here in Cincinnati, a 7-7 game. Beautiful night here in Cincinnati alongside the Ohio River, and one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Greg Ward Jr., who is playing well despite not being 100% healthy. The sophomore for Cincinnati, Hayden Moore, playing well himself.
Yeah, Dave, we got a bit of a quarterback duel right now. Both guys taking care of the football, making good decisions. I think Greg Ward's been under a lot more pressure than Hayden Moore tonight with the pass rush.
Moore, that long throw, he's got the arm strength to do it. First down.
That's impressive. You can certainly see the upside. I mean, that's an NFL type throw, wide field speed out. That's not easy to do, but a nice job anticipating and throwing this before his receiver gets out of his break. Allows him to secure the catch. That's Avery Johnson. First down.
He was a super talented kid, transfer from LSU. He's got big play potential. Wilson still not out there. That cut up by Mike Boone. A short gain on first down.
The zone scheme is the bread and butter run play for Cincinnati, and I think that's a good thing for them. This isn't the most overly physical offensive line that mauls people. Instead, they allow their running backs to find creases. Right now, we've got a quarterback substitution for Cincinnati. Their backup quarterback, Ross Trail, number 12, a freshman in the game.
Yeah, it looked to me, now maybe it was by design. Moore was kind of jogging off the field. The Ross Trail is in. A good runner, and that looked like a designed run for him on second down and long. He went nowhere.
And I think it's a way for this coaching staff to kind of manage the hits on Hayden Moore as well. Remember we said at the top of the game, he likes to run a lot. He doesn't slide very much. He's taken a lot of huge shots already early this year. So you bring in the backup quarterback, Ross Trail, for a zone read type play. Try and give Houston a different look defensively. But here's the dreaded 3rd and long. Where is Houston bringing their pressure from? Standing a lot of guys up right now. How do you identify which one's coming and which one's not?
Moore back in the game. They rush 5 and finally put some pressure on Moore. Incomplete off the hands of DJ Dowdy, the tight end.
It's Houston's goal every game. They want to hit the quarterback and get them out of their rhythm. First quarter, Hayden Moore didn't have a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of clean reads, clean pockets to throw from. It's probably the first time tonight we've seen him under duress.
That's the first time he's been hit all game.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive by Cincinnati to this point, but the pressure came at a good time for Houston. They'll force a punt. The Bearcats will try to do what Houston did earlier, pin the Cougars deep. That end-over-end punt, fair catch right around the 5. Good punt. Well, we love that pylon cam. Incidental contact, no flag. Tie game in Cincinnati. Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer, Laura Rutledge here in Cincinnati. This is a big deal for the 6th-ranked Cougars. One of their best players, Brandon Wilson, is headed back to the locker room.
Yeah, he's a big player for them on defense and a big player for them in the return game as well. And that, without a doubt, Dave, impacts tonight's contest.
It's funny, Houston is a very healthy team, except for their best players. Greg Ward Jr., not 100%. Catalan, their starting tailback, has been banged up. And now Wilson on the defensive side. Not great field position. They'll swing it out to King, that true freshman, for a short gain in the pass game.
Well, that offensive line has been the biggest question mark for Houston entering the season. You see the pressure that he's been under tonight. They lost 83 starts off that offensive line from a year ago. Their right guard, Colton Freeman, had to retire because of a neck injury. Right now, they've got their hands full communicating. They've got their hands full being physical and matching Cincinnati up front, mano a mano.
Field position hasn't helped. Last 3 times they've had the ball at their own 5, at their own 14. Now this drive started at their own 10. So they've been pinned deep. Ward, quick pass right sideline and a turn upfield, a good one with the missed tackle for a first down, Isaiah Johnson.
Interesting now, you're seeing Cincinnati starting to dial up the pressure on Greg Ward. It's something that they normally don't do. This is usually a bend but don't break defense that tries to keep the ball in front. And now they're coming after Greg Ward.
Quick snap on first down. Ward will roll and dump it off. A screen pass to Catalan for a nice positive gain.
And I like the way they're getting number 2 touches. It's handoffs between the tackles. It's handoffs on the outside zone play. And now getting him involved, catching the football as well. He is a complete back.
Yeah, and that's a good point because he's got a chance to be a special player. Just still getting his feet wet as a college running back. Ward takes off and gets the first down.
Again, more evidence from Greg Ward showing you that toughness. You know, and he's taken a lot of shots tonight and diving head first, shoulder first, to try and generate first downs. That's impressive.
The Houston coaches say it's not a re-injury issue. It's just a pain management issue with that shoulder problem. Gonna pass on first down. Eluding that rush, going deep. He's got a man caught at the 20. Chance Allen with the big gain.
Really nice job on the scramble drill by Chance Allen. Remember, he caught the post for a touchdown earlier in the game, and that time running a post as well. Looked back, saw his quarterback in trouble, stopped his route, and worked back to him.
And they got Cincinnati out of whack. Got to the line of scrimmage quickly. Now Catalan was stripped. The ball came out. There were penalty flags all over the place, and either too many men on the field or they didn't substitute properly, but I think it was too many men on the field.
There's no foul for 12 men on the field because there were less than 11 players at the snap. It will be second down.
Okay, so they talk about it, and there was no penalty because there were not 11 players on the field. No illegal substitution. The positive yardage of the play gets right about where that penalty yardage would have been, but Tom Herman is saying, you can read his lips, I thought it was 1st and 5. Second down and 4. In the pocket, going toward that corner. It is incomplete, knocked away.
That's Mike Tyson on man-to-man coverage, making a great play. And this guy was everywhere last week in their win against Purdue. Had 3 picks in that game. A nice job of turning around and locating the football in the air. There's no contact. He's able to swat it away clean. In a man-to-man situation, it's hard to do it better than that.
Mike Tyson punch out, so to speak, there with the pass defense. 3rd and 4.
And a one-on-one opportunity to his left side down here. Stephen Dunbar.
11th play of the drive. They started on their own 10. Play clock down to 2. They get the snap off. That pass is caught but short. Well short. Good open field tackle.
Jalen Miner did a great job on the coverage, and this is the right decision, I think, here by Tom Herman. Playing on the road, your defense playing lights out, but take the lead. An opportunity to take it into halftime as well. And again, we talked about their kicker, Ty Cummings. This is not necessarily a guarantee. Against Lamar last week, missed a 31-yarder, also missed a 25-yarder. So you wonder where his confidence is right now.
He had never missed a kick in his still pretty young college career until last week, but those 2 short misses. Not a great snap. Kick is up and good, though. That was a good job by the holder, Postma. And Houston does kick the field goal to take a 10-7 lead. Kickoff after the field goal. Out of bounds. Good news for Houston is one of their defensive standouts, Brandon Wilson, was in the locker room for a portion of this first half. Back on the field on 3rd and long for Cincinnati. They're going to throw, and they have the catch of the first down. What a big play that is. Devin Gray's been the big play receiver.
But 3rd and long, and Jeremy Winchester playing way off of the wide receiver. And again, that easy pitch and catch between Hayden Moore and Devin Gray. It's just way too much cushion to be giving on 3rd and California.
They had 15 to get. They get 18. Now the sack for a loss. Stephen Taylor shot right through the middle, and he put a lick on Hayden Moore. Houston has 2 timeouts. They have not called one here.
Stephen Taylor is one of the best blitzing linebackers in the entire country. He just kind of has a feel for finding creases in lanes and getting through. Gets the big hit. Last year, Taylor led the American Conference with 10 sacks, and it looks like Hayden Moore is very ginger getting up.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that left ankle get pinned a little bit on the tackle and turn. That's not great news. Ross Trail is the backup. Redshirt freshman who's taken 1 snap earlier in this first half in his college career. Which would be a big difference for Cincinnati if Moore is out of this game. Trail's going to get loose.
It's like Hayden Moore is taking a trip into the locker room a little bit early.
So maybe they'll buy an extra, could be up to, who knows, 5 minutes of treatment to try to get him ready for the second half. He's played well. Well, that is a big story for sure. 2:01 to go, 2 timeouts left. And with the freshman quarterback, you can understand being a little conservative here. Now Tom Herman will use that second timeout with 1:55 left.
I think in this situation right here, Dave, 3rd and long, you protect your quarterback. You're not necessarily thinking about getting the 13 yards deep down the field, but a draw, a screen, move the pocket, give him something he can see, an easy throw.
Trail, who is also good. Well, that was an easy throw, but it was almost a disaster. The defense was right there. Quick tackle after a short gain. Tyus Bowser read it perfectly. And the final timeout for Houston to stop the clock.
Talk about bringing the pressure. Here's 81, Tyus Bowser, and he's just going to blitz right into this play. Running back turns around. He's right there immediately and able to get him on the ground quickly. Houston uses its final timeout. There's 1:49 left.
Without timeouts, but they trust number 1.
Yeah, they do. And you see him there talking to his receivers, and they may be going over scramble drills again. Hey, guys, if I got to buy time, make sure we're working the boundary. Give me a place to go with the football.
Good punt. King, fair catch signal at about the 11. Well, that was executed well. Ward has taken a beating in this first half.
The game plan was simple. Let's hit Greg Ward and find out just how sore that throwing shoulder is. He found out right away, very early in the game. There's been a lot of pressure. It's been coming from the defensive line. They've been able to collapse the pocket, get some shots. Houston started running the football with Greg Ward in the second quarter, so he's taken his fair share of abuse. I've been impressed, though, with his toughness. Again, playing with pain. It's different than playing injured. You mentioned it earlier. He knows he can't further aggravate the injury, but it's all psychological and mental. And what is your pain threshold? And tonight it's been impressive watching Houston's Heisman candidate.
Cincinnati gets credit for their run defense, but he is reluctant, maybe by order, to run the ball. 7 rushing yards. That's usually such a big part of his game and their offense. Let's see how aggressive they are, starting with this field position. Ward is going to run on first down, trying to pick a spot, took another shot and stopped short, so Houston's got to go fast here.
But there's the advantage of having the extra blocker. That time Duke Catalan got out in front of the draw and got a great block on a linebacker.
2nd and 1, quick pass with the blocker upfield. First down Houston, and then out of bounds to stop the clock. Chance Allen with the catch.
And no doubt about it. You see Greg Ward telling his guys, hey, let's go fast. Let's go fast. Let's crank up the tempo here. We got no timeouts. Let's try and put Cincinnati on their heels.
To the line of scrimmage. First down. Ward down the right side. Another completion to midfield into Cincinnati territory. Linnell Bonner.
Major Applewhite is so good at setting things up. The play before, they throw the quick now pass to the receiver. They come right back, fake the now pass, throw it downfield to Linnell Bonner, and just an awful angle that time by Cincinnati safety.
On first down, hit as he threw, almost intercepted.
Alex Fontana at left guard for Houston has his hands full right now. Number 99, Alex Pace, just completely bull rushed him right into the lap of Greg Ward. We talked about this young, inexperienced offensive line by Houston. Just watch right, look at 53, just on skates. He's Canadian from Toronto, Canada. It's like being back on the ice.
And that's not how you want to be as an offensive lineman. This sport's a little different than that one. It wasn't a big hit, but I think that definitely impacted the throw. 34 seconds, no timeouts. Maybe field goal range already. They'll pitch it and pitch it back. Ward throwing a block to the corner. The ball flies out and stayed in bounds. Picked up by Cincinnati. Penalty flag thrown. That's Coleman down the sideline and finally tripped up. Crazy. Isaiah Johnson had it, was trying to get out of bounds, and the ball flew in the air and somehow stayed in bounds.
And what a change of momentum and change of field possession, and all of a sudden now Cincinnati has an opportunity to potentially tie this game going into halftime. Just a wild play. You got the double reverse.
After the interception and during the return, personal foul, face mask against the intercepted team, number 73. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So it was number 20, Carter Jacobs, that goes flying over and forces the turnover, and it was actually the right tackle, Ty Rogers, number 51, that was guilty of the face mask call. Looks like Grant Coleman was just running out of gas going down the sideline, but you see an easy call to make. What a momentum-changing play at a critical time in favor of Tommy Tuberville and Cincinnati. Wow.
And now Hayden Moore is in the game with 16 seconds left.
And a timeout in their back pocket, so they can take some shots here in the end zone before trying to kick a field goal.
Green, the tailback. Moore throws to nobody. Incomplete. He took a shot. Dangerous, though.
The good news, firstly, getting Hayden Moore back in the game, and a guy that's obviously comfortable with the game plan throwing it. He's done such a good job early this year taking care of the ball, not turning it over. Tonight, he's been making very, very good decisions, understanding here in field goal range an opportunity to kick a field goal. No negative plays, no sacks, no picks. It's not there, throw it away.
Again, the pressure comes. That one almost intercepted. Not listening to that advice. Pretty good play on the ball by the outstanding linebacker Stephen Taylor.
I think it was an okay decision by Hayden Moore, trying to throw the option route to his running back Mike Boone, but he missed the throw inside. You cannot miss out-breaking routes inside, and you know, we've seen a couple interceptions now dropped by Houston. Remember, there was an early pick six by Howard Wilson that was dropped, and that's one. It would have been a tough one, but that's one I think Stephen Taylor believes he could have made.
And Tommy Tuberville's seen enough. He's not going to take another shot. He's going to line up a field goal attempt. Andrew Gantz, who in his career has been very accurate from short distance. This kick is up. It was a low kick, but it's good. That was just crazy. That whole sequence, final minute of the half, was remarkable, and not in a good way for the 6th ranked team in the country. Houston was on the move, going in to score, to pad the lead, feeling like maybe they were taking control of the game, and they even used a trick play that on the surface it worked. They got some positive yardage, but Isaiah Johnson could not hang on to the ball. It popped free. Somehow the ball stays in bounds. Really one of the wilder plays you'll ever see. Cincinnati scores a field goal to tie, so it's 10-10 at halftime. You'll hear from Coach Herman with Laura in a moment, but first, it's the Land Rover halftime report. Thursday night, the lights are on here at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. And we got a good one. The 6th ranked team on the country being tested on the road. 10-10 the score. Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer. We knew it was going to be a competitive game. What we didn't know is Cincinnati was going to protect the ball. Houston's been the team that's been a little sloppy.
Yeah, Cincinnati's defense has been very opportunistic. There's no special scheme by defensive coordinators Robert Prunty and Jeff Coons. They're just beating people up at the line of scrimmage. Their defensive line has taken over. Greg Ward Jr. has taken a lot of punishment.
Houston does get the ball. That sequence at the end of the first half was wild, and it did not help the Cougars. Cincinnati took advantage of it for points. That's a touchback. And before Houston starts its drive, let's go downstairs to Laura Rutledge.
Dave, the Houston athletic trainers tell me the main key for Greg Ward during halftime was keeping that right shoulder warm. They did everything they could to continually massage it. They also continued to apply that balm. The purpose of the balm is to help keep it warm as well. They said Greg Ward Jr. showing a lot of toughness. He said he felt fine. They continually asked him and really took stock of the situation. He will be continuing to deal with some pain, though, in the second half.
Yeah, and then Laura, he's going to have to, and then they're going to need him to continue carrying the football. You saw just there, he already has 9 rushing attempts. Most of those came in the second quarter. That's most on the team right now, and with the issues they're having up front on the offensive line, they're probably going to need him to continue to carry the football here in the second half.
And if you heard Tom Herman's conversation with Laura during halftime, he said, hey, we're going to have to throw the ball. They have sold out to stop the run. And Greg Ward Jr., who is their most dynamic runner, the quarterback, gets a nice gain on first down.
Big-time players make big plays in big games. In tough situations like this, you just got to put it on your shoulders and tough it out.
He's going to have to. That's a completion. No, dropped. An out-and-out drop. Stephen Dunbar, that would have been a first down easily. Greg Ward knows that's a mistake. It sets up 3rd and 2.
I think one thing Cincinnati has to do a better job of in the second half is containing Greg Ward, especially on these 3rd down looks. Keeping him in the pocket.
Ed Kennard kind of spying on him in the first half. Ward, who gets to that corner, gets the first down across the 40.
Yeah, really nice job setting the edge on the outside. They get a really good block by their tight end, Tyler McCloskey. And again, Duke Catalon from the running back position, lead blocking for the quarterback, giving him an opportunity.
He's doing a good job in that aspect for a young guy. Now into Cincinnati territory at about the 44, passing on first down. Downfield into coverage, knocked away, incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Johnson.
And just underthrown a little bit. This is one that Greg Ward would like to get out way in advance and give him an opportunity to run underneath, but a nice job by Lyndon Stevens. He's a guy that's been picked on a little bit for Cincinnati. Gave him a couple big throws down the field against UT Martin week 1. Had some pass interference calls last week against Purdue. Didn't get the start tonight. Making a big play here early in the second half.
It's been the ground game on this drive for the most part. The true freshman Carr in the backfield. The fake to Carr. The tackle in the backfield. That's Kevin Muhan.
Yeah, the speed and athleticism of Muhan to kind of play both. It's that zone read where he's kind of frozen and he's maybe going to take the running back. You see him out here, number 48. He's kind of stretching out like I got the running back at the last second, puts his foot in the ground and slams Ward to the turf.
Sophomore from Georgia, recruited by a lot of SEC programs. He's got talent.
Bit of a different look here now on 3rd down. Cincinnati standing up a bunch of guys, trying to confuse this offensive line.
4 receivers set. Ward in the pocket. Going downfield. It is almost intercepted.
Oh, miscommunication between Greg Ward and his receiver, Linnell Bonner, and Greg Ward not happy. He was trying to throw his receiver open. I think Bonner thought he should break out in the zone. Greg Ward thought he was running an inside cut. That's one Antonio Kennard, who's been all over the field tonight, by the way. Look at that, 12 tackles already. He's got a sack and a second pass breakup.
He had 8 tackles in the first 2 games combined. Wow. So he's had a huge game so far. Another punt for Houston. Dane Roy. Fair catch signal already made at the 11-yard line. That Cincinnati defense playing so well. It's been a defensive game. Number 6 Houston on the road in a 10-10 tie. Under the lights on Thursday night, Cincinnati trying to pull an upset, passing on first down, and Moore's going to be sacked near the goal line. He stayed out of the end zone, but Stephen Taylor is just a monster at linebacker.
Cross dog by the inside linebackers at Houston confused Cincinnati. 41 and inside linebacker Matthew Adams, number 9. In a crossing pattern. And Hayden Moore, very lucky this was not a safety. We talk about this guy being one of the best blitzing linebackers in the country. That's already his 2nd sack on the night.
Hand off and trouble to get out. I don't know that he did. Tion Green, it's going to depend on the spot, and they say safety. Tackled in the end zone. It's 2 points for Houston.
And it all starts up front by nose guard Ed Oliver, number 10, the true freshman. They had a double team block on him, and he just didn't move. He's able to take that on. Just look at right in the middle of the screen. There's no black jerseys moving forwards, but it all starts at the point of attack. And the highest rated recruit ever to sign with the group of 5 team, Ed Oliver, number 10. Look at him right there in the middle. He's actually moving forward with 2 Cincinnati Bearcat linemen pushing him.
That's a true freshman in his 3rd college game against a double team at the goal line.
It's crazy. They're just not supposed to be that developed and that talented this early.
You know, well, that's a name to remember, because already has established himself. He's going to be one of the best defensive players in this conference already as a true freshman. And by the time he's done, he's going to be one of the best in the country.
No doubt about it. And you got to give Tom Herman and this coaching staff credit. They've done a great job recruiting inside the city and the whereabouts and roundabouts of Houston, Texas. You think of all of the talent that's able to come out of there, and his ability to take him, Ed Oliver, away from schools like Texas and Texas A&M and the Baylors,
LSU,
the TCUs,
Oklahoma,
absolutely.
Alabama, they all wanted Ed Oliver, and he stayed home. His brother on the team, that helped. But he has made a big-time impact already. Short kickoff taken at the 15, returnable to the 30. Outside the 30, around the 33. I will say this, it's not winner gets in, but you almost have gotten the sense from these 2 programs that this football season and how these teams perform on the field will have an impact in the Big 12's decision making.
Yeah, I think both programs and both universities can make a pretty strong case for their inclusion in the Big 12. You look at a place like Houston, it's the 4th biggest city in America right now. It's a huge TV market, which is great for the footprint of the Big 12 conference. They've got new facilities, and they're a Tier 1 university, which only Texas and Texas A&M are in their state. And Cincinnati, meanwhile, think about the possibilities. They could open up the state of Ohio recruiting to other programs in the Big 12 if they were to join. Of course, they've got a strong football and basketball program themselves, new facilities as well, and a lot of fans here, Dave. Just that we've been talking to the last couple of days, they are so excited about the possibility of getting inclusion in that Power 5 conference.
Yeah, I think both schools have a really legitimate argument if the Big 12 is going to grow, and it is so impactful for an athletic department. Also because of the deals with companies like ours that pay for the rights to televise all these games, the financial impact of being in a big Power 5 conference is huge. There's Mick Cronin, who's in charge of the Cincinnati basketball program, traditionally a great power program, pumping money into their facility. This facility has been fixed up. 3rd and 4. Ward keeping it. Ward gets the first down. That was a tough run by Greg Ward Jr.
That outside quarterback run, they've had a ton of success with that in this game, and that time their freshman left tackle Josh Jones running out, getting a nice lead block, and again Duke Catalon getting out in front as well. Greg Ward now, it's his 18th carry on the night.
Not a lot of big explosive plays like he can make, but that run game by the quarterback has been more effective here in the 3rd quarter. He's got an open receiver. Allen came back to the football, gets the first down.
But the thing I'll give Cincinnati's defense credit for is they've not given up a lot of explosive plays, with the exception of the deep post to Chance Allen early. Their bend don't break. They really like to rush 4 guys. They don't blitz a lot, play big zones, keep the ball in front, run to the ball, tackle, force you to go 10, 12, 14 plays to score.
The difference right now in the game is that safety. First down, Catalon gets it. With that speed to the corner, Catalon shoved out of bounds, but a nice gain. They will spot him at the 18-yard line. And for a little more on Greg Ward Jr., we'll go down to Laura.
Dave, this Houston coaching staff looking for Greg Ward Jr. to be more of a vocal leader, and before this drive, he's on the sideline trying to fire everyone up, saying he wants to take some shots downfield, take some risks.
He avoided a shot from the defender, Kennard, who's just been everywhere, got out of bounds and got enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's such an advantage having that kind of running ability, not just in the design running plays like we've seen tonight, but being able to extend and create. When plays break down, the ability to avoid a sack and turn it into a first down. It's a luxury that a lot of offenses don't have.
I mean, he is not a big dude. He's 5'11", 185. Across the middle, complete. First down, inside the 10, inside the 5, Linnell Bonner.
Phenomenal right by Bonner. It's called a jerk route, where he kind of has a two-way go, and they get him isolated one-on-one. He's in here. He's going to be working inside against the linebacker. Had a two-way go, and Ward put it right on him.
This time they just get the ball snapped. Ward pressured, intercepted in the end zone. Picked off, and the return out to the 20 and just beyond Alex Thomas. Another Houston turnover.
And it's another bad throw from Greg Ward. We saw that in his first interception, and he got popped at the end of this play. He had Linnell Bonner, number 15, in the slot open on a corner route. He just needed to put more air underneath the ball. He just throws a line drive, and Alex Thomas was right there to make the pick. Another costly turnover for Houston at an inopportune time.
They've dominated this game statistically. They are not dominating on the scoreboard, up only 2. Well, Houston went from 1st and goal to an interception in the end zone. Second interception thrown by Greg Ward Jr. And their lead is just 2, 12-10 here in the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and it's the right decision by Greg Ward, but it's the wrong type of throw. Rolling to his right, he has Bonner in the slot. You see him, number 15, there in the top right corner. He's open. More air under the ball, and Greg Ward making the tackle. Kind of fell awkwardly on that right shoulder, and was Ginger getting up.
Cincinnati's offense has done nothing in the second half until now. Down the sideline, Josiah DeGara, the 3rd tight end on the depth chart with a big gain of 28 yards.
And what a throw by Hayden Moore, anticipating it before his receiver got turned around. He stuck that right on the shoulder pad of his tight end.
And now Cincinnati uses tempo, quick to the line, the handoff, and one of the best running plays of the entire game into Houston territory down to the 44.
Yeah, and Tion Green's the guy that Cincinnati would love to get going right about now. He's a big back at 6 feet, 230 pounds, has speed to get outside, great feet, can catch the ball, but he's physical and he can help wear a defense down.
Until that rush, they had for the game officially 3 rushing yards. They're going to pitch it back to Moore. He's got a man, and it is along the sideline and caught. Mike Boone, the tailback, what a catch.
It's an interesting formation you don't see very often. You've got the smaller running back, Mike Boone, and they hit him, lined him up at fullback, and he was able to get out on the wheel. Ball a little bit underthrown.
But I do think that first foot was down in bounds.
They got to take a look at it again because it was close.
1st and goal from just inside the 10. They get the completion along the sideline, trying to stay in bounds. Khalil Lewis, but he was knocked down at about the 4. That interception in the other end zone when Houston was going in to score to pad the lead, and now Cincinnati knocking on the doorstep, trying to go ahead. And if they do, it'll be in the 4th quarter. We got a good one.
Sure do. It always is between these two teams.
It always is. And if Houston has a playoff shot, if they have a national championship shot, 15 minutes could decide their chances against a game Cincinnati team that's come up with 3 turnovers tonight. On to the 4th quarter. Houston's lead only 2. From Cincinnati, 4th quarter. It's Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week, and it's turned out that way. 6th-ranked Houston leads going into the 4th quarter 12-10, but the Bearcats have 2nd and goal from inside the 5 as we start the 4th quarter. And the students finally have quieted down a little bit for their own offense. Moore looking left now, middle, touchdown.
Zach Taylor, the new offensive coordinator for Cincinnati, was the Miami Dolphins interim offensive coordinator last year. And here's a route concept you see a lot in the NFL. It's a bunch look. You get a tight end and another receiver that sort of clear out and stretch a defense. It just leaves a soft spot in the middle of the field. Wide open and a nice placement on the ball by Hayden Moore, protecting the throw, keeping it low and away. Looks like Cincinnati's going to go for 2.
Yeah, they weren't totally organized, but they still have plenty of time to get organized because they are going to go for 2, up 4.
This is an area of the field, too, where Hayden Moore's legs can be a factor.
Yeah, they don't want him to take hits out of the open field, but you're down in scoring position. We'll see if that's a factor here. Going for 2. And in the back of the end zone, no. They say out of bounds. Khalil Lewis got his hands on the ball and just could not quite get those feet inbounds.
It was actually the exact same play they ran the snap before, in that same bunch look. You see there, right, Lewis just could not keep that 1 foot down inbounds. We've got a 4-point game. And Hayden Moore paying it off down in the red zone with a touchdown pass to Nate Cole. And Cincinnati, I've just been loving their energy tonight. Offensively, defensively, tremendous effort for head coach Tommy Tuberville. And you can just see the energy on the sidelines here. They are amped up.
They got a chance for a big upset that would shake up. I know it's early in the season, but Houston is a team that is very much in the playoff picture. At the goal line, the return for the Cougars. To the 25 and out to about the 29-yard line. Play clock down to 5. 3rd and 5. Downfield, caught into Cincinnati territory. Linnell Bonner.
Greg Ward is excellent at throwing back shoulder throws, and just reading the body languages of his receiver and seeing that the defender here, you can't lead him downfield on this one. Throw it back shoulder. DB has his head turned, big completion, and here goes the tempo after a big play downfield.
With 3 receivers bunched up on that right side, nobody in the backfield with Ward. He'll throw it left. Catalan inside the 35, dragged down. He got about 8, maybe 9.
And what they might want to think about is running the football with all these DNs on the field. Aha, now you see Cincinnati, because of that quick tempo before, they couldn't sub out. Now they're able to get 2 big defensive tackles back on to make themselves more stout in the middle.
2nd and 1, the true freshman Carr in the backfield along with Bonner. Ward fakes it. He'll dump it to Carr. Catch, first down, Moore. Huge hit inside the 25, but Carr hangs on.
Yeah, the physicality here is completely picked up now late in the game. Carter Jacobs, who forced the fumble. Welcome, true freshman to the American Conference in college football.
Straight up the middle, Carr apparently okay after that hit. A nice gain on first down. Houston on the move.
A nice job by the center that time, working off a double team. That was Will Noble, who we saw get hurt earlier.
I think he's their best offensive lineman. Carr, nothing that time. Well, you've said it a couple times in this game. This isn't a goal-to-go situation, not quite. They can get a first down at the 1, but this is the part of the field where Houston is struggling.
And if you're Tom Herman, you just want to see your offense have success handing the ball off to the running back. It can't always be Greg Ward.
All kinds of time just standing in the pocket, trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. Now he's going to keep it, breaks a tackle. Ward into the end zone, touchdown. Houston back on top.
This is why he's every defensive coordinator's nightmare. His ability to turn nothing into something. Cincinnati is really on a very slow rush. It's a mush rush. You see that by Cincinnati. They're not really trying to run after him. They're just kind of holding back in case he scrambles. Even so, he's able to contain or break the contain, turn on the Jets.
I was trying to count there. I think 7, maybe even 8 seconds before he took off, just standing in the pocket. Extra point up and good. And what a response by the 6th-ranked team of the country and their quarterback.
It's what you look for in a leader. You've had a couple bad turnovers. You're playing injured. The heart of a champion. And they've got the lead.
Deep kickoff into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. Play fake. Moore pressured, kind of slings it away.
That's what Houston needs right now, is that pass rush to pick up, because they know Cincinnati can't run against them. So if you're this Houston defense, especially in a scenario like this, pin the ears back and get ready to get after Hayden Moore. Todd Orlando, you see their defensive coordinator right there. He's done a phenomenal job with his defense. There were some rumors out there that Wisconsin wanted to hire him this offseason to replace Dave Aranda, who left to LSU. Houston lucky they got him back.
I think one of the best defensive minds in the country. 2nd and 12 across the middle. First down. Open field tackle saved an even bigger gain. Nate Cole once again.
Yeah, Cincinnati's having success with these bunch formations at wide receiver. That time they had Nate Cole in motion. They kind of stacked him behind another receiver. It gave him free access off the ball.
Quick to the line with a bunch formation on the right side. They pitch it to their tailback. That's Tion Green for a short gain.
And that tells you something when you have to kind of resort to trick formations to try and get some positive yardage in the running game. They haven't had a lot of success against this Houston front seven when they've just lined up and tried to do it traditionally. Number 10, Ed Oliver, is one of the big reasons why.
So 2nd and 7. Stephen Taylor's had a big game at linebacker. More from the shotgun. That one dangerous and intercepted. You could just kind of see that one coming. Howard Wilson, he dropped one earlier in the game. This time he hangs on.
Yeah, and that time Hayden Moore didn't have anywhere to go with the ball, so instead of throwing it away, he just kind of launched one out wide to the sideline, and Howard Wilson had his head turned around and was able to locate the football and come down with a contested interception. That's the turnover that Houston's been looking for. You see Hayden Moore, nothing open inside. If you're going to throw that one away, you got to throw it way out of bounds. He threw it too short inside. That's kind of the disaster play that Cincinnati had been avoiding all game so far. That could prove costly.
What a great interception from a guy who dropped an easy one that would have been a touchdown earlier in the game. Tell you what, out of the hand of Hayden Moore, I almost thought he was throwing the ball away. Instead, Wilson came up with it. First down, Cougars straight ahead running. Finally starting to get a little room up the middle.
Yeah, and that offensive line now is kind of settling in. Guys are able to work into the second level. That time, left tackle Josh Jones able to work off of a combo block, get up onto a linebacker. Something they weren't really having a lot of success with early in this game.
Catalan, who is their top tailback, shuffles over to that left side. They give it to him, breaks a tackle, gets to the corner, gets a first down into Cincinnati territory.
Well, you see the strength that Duke Catalan has at 210 pounds. He's got Cortez Broughton at 300 bills, draped all over him with two arms. It's not easy to run through an arm tackle from a nose tackle as big as Broughton is. That's what's got so many Houston fans excited about this Texas transfer, who once was the number 10 ranked tailback coming out of high school.
Now look, he's had some issues. He didn't get to start the opener because he didn't keep himself in good enough shape. Sort of a little punishment for that. He's been banged up. They've been a little frustrated with some other aspects of his game as a young player. Play fake over the middle. Another completion to Bonner for another Houston first down.
And this is why they need to run the ball, because you start having some success. Now you go play action and it freezes all of the linebackers. They start wanting to play downhill. That opens up lanes for the receivers over the middle of the field.
15 yards on that one. Liddell Bonner, 8 catches, 119 yards. He's been the big play guy tonight. Hand off the true freshman Carr straight ahead for a nice game.
Well, and it was bad news to not have Duke Catalan against Lamar. The good news is they were able to get a lot of young running backs, a lot of reps, and Moba Carr had 20 carries and over 100 yards against Lamar. So now you get into a situation like this. Huge conference game, national TV. You've got some key injuries on offense, and you can trust a young true freshman to come in on meaningful snaps and generate some offense for you.
Oh, Ward keeps it. Stacked up short of the first down.
Just kind of feel like everything aligns this year for Houston to make that run, though, right? 23 full or part-time starters back to a 13-win team. They've already got the win against Oklahoma. A lot of momentum, a lot of hype.
Catalan straight ahead, trying to get to that spot. And it's going to depend on the spot. I think he did get a good spot.
I think he got it too. And we talk about him being a complete running back, a guy that can catch the ball. He can run outside the tackles. We've seen the speed. Now you see the power running between the tackles. And remember, he's not 100% either. We've been talking all night about Greg Ward and his shoulder, but Ducathlon missed their last game with an ankle injury. He's been toughing it out himself.
And at the moment, whether it's because of the injuries we've seen, the little minor injuries, or just a rotation, the two big guys are not in the game up the middle. Broughton and Pace on 1st and 10. Swing pass. King cuts it upfield. The true freshman spinning inside the 20.
And that's an issue right now, not having Broughton and Pace on the inside of that D-line. Again, there's a noticeable drop-off in run defense when the starters are out. They seem to be a lot softer inside. They lose a lot of size. Marquise Copeland, number 44, he's only 270 pounds. So it's a big, big difference. The inside of this Houston O-line getting push.
2nd and 7. Cattle on the tailback. Straight ahead, up the middle, close to the 15. Antonio Kennard has had a big game for Cincinnati with the tackle. 3rd down. Ward keeping, throws. Was that scooped up? They're calling that a catch. What a catch by Allen.
Yeah, Chance Allen getting low to the ground. Wow, and he just plucks that with 2 hands.
And Houston gets the snap off in case there was any thought of looking at that play. I think he did make the catch no matter what. King gets inside the 5.
The ball touched the ground, but I thought he had firm control of the football. And I love what Houston does with its tempo, because whenever there's an explosive play downfield or a play that might be 50-50 and they want to review, they go super tempo. They don't give you the opportunity to do that.
Snap off. Ward keeps going for the end zone. Touchdown. 2nd rushing touchdown in the last 2 drives, and Houston opening this game up.
Well, the defensive end, 56 up top, Wilson, he collapses on the fullback dive, and they get their tight end, Tyler McCloskey, all the way from the backside of the formation to pull around and help get a block for Greg Ward, his 2nd rushing touchdown now here in the 4th quarter.
A career high 26 rushing attempts.
That's amazing.
And we thought they were going to try to limit that because of his injury. Extra point is good. So Houston with 6:16 to go. Couple touchdowns in a row.
Yeah, and I don't know if we saw him carry it in the 1st quarter, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Houston now stretching their lead.
So it's a 10-point lead, a 2-score lead for the 6th-ranked Cougars of Houston. Tailback Mike Boone into the end zone, and he'll take a knee. Touchback. Well, Cincinnati needs their sophomore Hayden Moore to step up after the mistake that Jesse referenced on the last possession. The interception, Houston took that down the field. Moore throws middle, completion out to the 40 and across the 40. About the 44, Khalil Lewis.
Yeah, and really good anticipation on the throw from Hayden Moore. I thought he's done a much better job of that early this year than last season. Right as Lewis coming out of his break, having a plan, and that's a great way to start this drive. Down by 10.
There's plenty of time left in this game, especially with all 3 timeouts, but they do have to play with urgency. Moore throws short, caught. Tackle in the open field, the clock will roll.
And I think early in the game, Hayden Moore had success throwing to the outside, all the cushion that Houston's corners were giving these receivers, but they've changed the coverage. The corners are playing tighter. They're playing with safety help, getting double coverage. So the holes have been over the middle of the field for Hayden Moore. I'd expect him to continue attacking that part of the field.
Nate Cole, who's particularly good, I think, in that spot with his 8th catch. 2nd and 5. Moore throws toward the sideline, caught and turned upfield. A big hit. Gray hangs on to the ball.
Yeah, big number 9, Matthew Adams, is a heat-seeking missile. 6 feet, 230 pounds. He plays downhill. You want to get down fast.
That's probably 4-down territory at this point of the game, but they'd like to just take the pressure off and get the yard here.
Easier said than done. It's one of the best run defenses in the country.
Yeah, just a standard run play may not do it. It's been that tough going on the ground. And they're not going to run. The throw, caught, first down.
That's good. You got to think about now time management, and then anybody that has the football, receivers, running backs, quarterbacks for Cincinnati, you get close to the boundary, you get out of bounds. All of these seconds are precious, trailing by 10 right.
It doesn't permanently stop the clock, but you save those 10 seconds or whatever while they get everybody lined up, and those are important. There was a theme on NFL Sunday where in a couple games, Cowboys, Lions, those receivers just didn't get out of bounds. That ball was flat out dropped by Braden Beard.
Yeah, I mean, he put this right on the face of Braden Beard in the slot, number 15. And Hayden Moore, he's throwing the ball with a lot of conviction on this drive so far. I mean, it looks good. It's coming out. He's seeing the field. Really, with the exception of that interception on the last drive, I think for the most part, Moore, he's been lights out.
He's played well. You can see why he won the job, and they said emphatically the clear #1 choice. Delayed handoff. Some running room right side, inside the 40. Nice power at the end of the run. And he's going to get the first down.
And it's a good play call by Cincinnati because Houston brought an overload blitz from the left side of the field. And Hayden Moore got them to a running play on the right side away from all of that pressure. And that's by far the best run play we've seen. There's that cadence again, getting Houston to declare where the pressure's coming from.
And it does come from that side of the defense. The throw was a little high, incomplete. Moore did take a hit at the end of the play.
I like the timeout there by Tom Herman. I think it helped give his defense a little bit of a breather. They were on their heels. Guys looked tired. They looked a lot fresher that time on that pressure. And not sitting back playing big zone coverages like we saw earlier on this drive. Now they're getting back to doing what they do. They come after your quarterback.
More pressure. Moore takes another hit and throws an interception. Stephen Taylor bringing it back. Breaking a tackle across midfield. Taylor down the sideline to the 20. Cuts it back midfield. Still going. And Taylor all the way. What a play. Touchdown.
I don't care who you are at quarterback, but pressure affects everyone. We see another overload blitz by Houston. Hayden Moore felt the pressure. It's all coming from this side. And he just throws this right over the middle of the field, right into the hands of number 41, Taylor. This is a defense that thrives off turnovers, more turnovers than any other defense since the beginning of 2013. And what's interesting about these guys is they don't just take the ball away, they take it to the crib.
Yep.
I mean, you see that from Brandon Wilson at nickelback, and now Stephen Taylor, the blitz specialist, showing you that he's got some coverage skills as well and the ability to flip the field. And just like that, Dave, this game is blown wide open.
Yeah, I mean, that basically puts it away on a night where Cincinnati led in the fourth quarter. They took a look at it, and he did get in the end zone. Extra point up and good. It's 33-16, and these folks just can't believe it.
We talked about how Cincinnati had to avoid the disaster plays, turnovers, which just killed their season a year ago. And that's the most telling statistic, I think, in every season and every game. I mean, right now, I think they're making a good case for themselves, continuing to stay in that playoff conversation.
Touchback here for Cincinnati as folks start to file out.
And I'd keep your eye on these Houston Cougars in these next 3 games, because that's not an easy part of the schedule.
Pretty interesting that Ross Trail is in, and another pick. It's going to be a pick 6. Howard Wilson. Back-to-back defensive touchdowns for Houston.
I just love the aggressive nature of Todd Orlando. You've blown the game open. You don't go into a prevent defense. You keep bringing pressure, and pressure leads to turnovers. Quarterbacks panic when they see free rushers running at them, and you've seen it now on the last 2 snaps. People that didn't watch this game are going to look at the box score at the end and see 40-something to 16, and they're going to say, well, it wasn't even in a close game, and that's not the truth. But You know, we talk a lot about the offense. We talk a lot about Greg Ward and Duke Catalan. Let's be honest. The backbone of this program the last couple of years has been their third ward defense.
The defense.
Yeah, and they're playing at a very, very high level here again tonight.
You don't see back-to-back that often. Defensive touchdowns on consecutive plays.
And again, not just turnovers, but TDs.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, like taking it to the house.
And I think for Howard Wilson, the potential pick six that he dropped earlier in the game, I think he's over it.
No, yeah, he's had two now, and you know, you feel good for him. Remember last year against Texas State, he had a season-ending injury. He was able to get a medical red shirt. Here he is making big plays early. This secondary that lost 4 starters a year ago and 135 combined starts and a first-round pick in William Jackson, they've just seemingly reloaded.
Yeah,
and that's the swagger and the hype of the H-Town takeover right there. That's what you're used to seeing from Houston.
And whether they were a little tight or Cincinnati just played them so tough, Cincinnati led in the fourth quarter. They were ahead 16-12. It's 40-16 with 3:40 to go.
College football, man. 18 to 22-year-olds. You know, you got to remember, this is only his second. This is going to be his second full year playing quarterback.
And he was a wide receiver and has turned into a quarterback and not just a runner. Well, look who's in the game. The third stringer, Gunnar Kiel, who has been a figure with a lot of reputation in his college football career and a lot of production. He's thrown for more than 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
He was a monster in this game a year ago against Houston. Threw for 523 yards in that game. He's had so many setbacks over the last couple of years. You know, neck injury, shoulder injury, back injury. He missed a lot of spring practice. It kind of got stuck behind Hayden Moore and Ross Trail on the depth chart because of it. It's good to see him back out on the field.
Chance to play here with Cincinnati keeping it on the ground and basically knowing that this game has been put away by Houston.
I think if you're Cincinnati, you know, you gotta take the learning experiences from this game and say, look, we had the number 6 team in the country on the ropes in the fourth quarter, and then we started blowing ourselves up with turnovers. But you take a look at the rest of their schedule, Cincinnati, they've got a lot of big games here at home. USF, East Carolina, who just beat NC State this past weekend, Memphis. They don't have to play Navy. If you're Cincinnati, you've got to get turned around, get back on track, because this still could be a very special season for the Bearcats.
Handed off once again on third down. Clock moves, and presumably they're going to punt the ball away. Well, and maybe you get a little advantage this Thursday night game. You get a couple extra days before next weekend's next game against Miami of Ohio. Try to get the bad feel. I mean, Cincinnati, they are going to be crushed by this one.
I think it's very simple, though, moving forward. If Cincinnati doesn't beat Cincinnati, they can beat a lot of people. If they don't turn the football over, they're talented enough to give everybody a run.
And I'm with you. USF is a talented team in this American Conference. There are some others, but this could be the rematch in the conference championship game.
No doubt about it, and they'll be motivated. You know, no doubt about that. You're now the hunted. You've got the target on your back. You've got to bring your A game week in, week out, and that's going to be the challenge for them. Fighting complacency.
And don't you think, I mean, there is a human element, right? There's a human element now in this playoff committee. The fact that they beat Florida State last year, I know it's a different team, a different year, but it's just got to be a little carryover impact of, hey, we know these guys can hang with the big boys. You beat Florida State, you beat Oklahoma. I'm with you.
There's the architect right there, and Tom Herman. College football, important again in the city of Houston, and he's made his football team a national brand. Not a lot different from Chris Peterson at Boise State. What he did there, Gary Patterson at TCU. Tom Herman has this thing working.
And really an impressive job by a kid who's not 100% healthy, Greg Ward Jr. The handshake's happening at midfield. It is officially over. Houston, 6th-ranked team of the country. They were tested down in the fourth quarter, and they end up blowing the game wide open and winning by the final score of 40-16. So that's the final score for Laura Rutledge, for Jesse Palmer, and for our crew. Dave Fleming saying so long here from Nippert Stadium. Final score does not give you the indication of what kind of game we had here tonight. 40-16 the final. Sports Center coming up. Tom Herman's going to join the gang, and Sports Center will be with you in 15 seconds.